There we go.
So I'm guessing, sounds like Suki's gone silent to me, Quinten. Hey, Suki. Quinten is just, he'll be back very shortly. Here we go. Well, welcome to the ESk8 UK Live Show. Tonight with Quinten from Built Kit Boards. And as always, Silent Suki. How are you doing today, our friend?
Doing great. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, glad to hear it. And so tell us what's been going on.
So, as a lot of people might have seen, we announced recently that we were going to discontinue production. And I say discontinue production because I wouldn't say it's a going out of business. It's just one of those things where we won't be making new boards anymore, or really any products for that sake. It came with a heavy heart. It was a tough decision for us. Definitely isn't something that we're happy about. But it's a bittersweet ending. There's positives and there's negatives. The biggest positive, and I always try to look at the positives more than the negatives, of course. The biggest positive for me is, I'm in a position where I can continue to support the people that kind of supported me. Anybody who bought the board from not 10 years ago, 5 years ago to yesterday, anybody in between, they're going to get the same level of support and um, help from BKB. I mean, really being me, myself. It's not anything where I'm leaving anybody high and dry, and I'm thankful that I'm in a position where, I don't have to force everything out within a certain time frame, and I'm able to actually hold on to a decent amount of stock for warranty parts or anything like that is concerned. Um, but it sucks to not be a resource for people and to not be able to help them as much as I was able to in the past couple years. But there's positives and negatives to everything, um, and I think I'm walking away with more positives than negatives, thankfully. A lot of it has to do with the people that kind of made this possible for us. Like, when I say people, I mean like people like you guys who helped us kind of grow our business. I mean the customers, of course. I say customers, that word kind of makes me go ugh, because I really look at them like family members. I really do. I don't mean to be corny by saying that. It's just like I'm a one person show over here. I mean, we got Jared, who lives in Manhattan. He has his own company with Lec Tech, and he's always been a part of BKB, and he is BKB. But as far as like direct connection with customers, shipping everything, it was all me. So everything from when someone placed an order to when they emailed me a question about it to me fulfilling it, every single step of the way was me. So I feel like I have almost a personal connection to everybody that I've either shipped something to, emailed with, whether you purchase something or not. I remember everybody. These names are stored in my head. I think the brain can only remember or have a certain amount of relationships or can maintain a certain amount of data in your head. But I mean, there's so many times when I'll just be out somewhere and I'll meet someone random and it's not a BKB customer, but I'll hear a last name or a first name or a combination that sounds super familiar to someone. I'm like, so it sticks with me, and little things like that pull it out of me, and I'm like, wow, these people really do have a big impact on me. So I just want to share that to start off with. I know I'm on a tangent, but I'm super thankful and grateful. I just want to end with that. Um, Positives.
Definitely. It's good to see a positives, isn't it? So, is it 5 years that BKB has been in being?
5 years of our consistent kits. I think we're about 7 or 8 of actually selling things as build kit boards.
Okay,
But
good long while.
yeah, and it started with a high school student. It was a junior in high school. Jared started this on his own, just because he wanted a boosted board so bad and couldn't afford it. So he started building his own. And then he started posting on forums. People said, "Where'd you get this? Where'd you get that?" That's how it started. So from selling parts to now we're out here making full kits from scratch. It kind of evolved really fast, and so there's a couple boards from the beginning years that aren't like official kits or anything like that, but people built it all through us. And but it's been like 7 or 8 years. It's been a while.
Yeah, that is a good time. So you've seen some ups and downs with the
Yeah.
market, I guess, in that time.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh yeah.
so how would you kind of just quickly scout it over the 8 years? Is it better now than 8 years ago? Or
Unfortunately, I would not say that's the case. I think there's kind of a. I mean, everything is when you say something's trendy. I think electric skateboarding was definitely a trendy thing for a while, but that doesn't mean it's a thing that's only going to be viable for a certain period. But it's like the mass popularity of it is.
mass appeal, yeah.
And yeah, exactly, mass appeal. Whereas, there's obviously people who are really into PEVs and they'll buy one of everything and they'll kind of experience things. But there's not many of us. PEV is a very small community. I mean, most people know each other, and it's a very small niche market. So in 7, 8 years ago, when Casey Neistat was posting videos of him on his boosted board riding through New York City, people were like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's living in the future." And now all of a sudden, you see an electric skateboard, and you're like, "That's a little archaic compared to some of the
Mhm.
other things going on." So that alone, I mean, the innovation in technology is a huge deal. Um, I think EUCs have taken a lot of people from ESk8 and put them into that field because they're so technologically advanced. I mean, you cannot do some of the things that you do on an EUC with a skateboard. You can't do most of the things. And I understand it. I'm a skater though, personally. I'm a skater before an e-skater. Um, Now I e-skate way more, but I was a skater before an e-skater, so I like e-skate for the fact that it is a skateboard. But as far as mass appeal, that wasn't the big appeal for most people necessarily. So I kind of saw that die out, and it's gone through ebbs and flows. I mean, there was a little bit of a dip 3 or 4 years ago where it was just kind of like it seemed like everybody who wanted one bought one, and it almost
All the
came into
time.
like a uh, a price race. Everybody was making these really, really complicated boards and kind of making them better, 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 better. And then all of a sudden the market changed and it goes, okay, cheaper, 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 cheaper. And you can kind of see the change in the market and what people are putting out through that. And we just tried to stay consistent between it. Providing the best price for the best quality. That was our big thing. We can save so much money as a company not building the boards. And when you save all that money, just pass it on to the customer. So that's kind of how we managed through it. But as of right now, it's definitely the worst it's ever been. I will say that without a doubt in my head. It The new users is very minimal, and I think a lot of people, most of the people that you see going to buy a board right now, already have. Um, and that's kind of it's tough. It's not a repeat business cycle. It's not something where people keep buying boards and you buy a new board every year. It's as a business, it's kind of tough when you don't have new customers coming to you every single day trying to learn or whatever. So that's kind of what I've noticed over the past couple of years.
Hmm.
Still gonna continue.
No, I think you've already answered that, haven't you? No more to be built, sadly.
So I'm reading the question here. You're still gonna continue to make existing product line then? So as of right now, I think it's easier to explain kind of how the business operates, honestly, and kind of give you guys a deep dive into how we've always made it work. And it kind of will make more sense as far as where the decision came from. Given that we're such a small business, and small business, no employees, just me, um, and fairly niche. I mean, Eastgate's its own niche, and then you put DIY into it, you're even more niche. And we knew that, obviously. Um, but being in that space, sales aren't reliable, and you can't rely on consistent sales to feed your inventory. So how we've always how we've always did everything was with the first generation of board, it was a Duo and Tato. we would buy everything at once. We'd buy every single part we need to buy all the potatoes and all the deals, except for things that have a shelf life like batteries. But almost everything else we could buy in bulk. And we would get the best deal from the manufacturer, which would allow us to pass that best deal on to the customer. And we've done that throughout all 4 generations of boards. With this current generation, because Railcore is so modular, and we really did have a big belief that Railcore could be used, it can be used outside of just ESk8. We just thought it had a little bit more of an impact in the community as far as that use case is concerned. We manufactured a lot more batteries and a lot more just powertrain parts. So we have all those in stock right now. I still have over 100 batteries that are just ready either to be made or sitting here ready to go. So I definitely have stuff kind of set aside for people who already have boards. But as far as making new parts, we've made sure everything I can always talk to someone overseas, worst case, and have something shipped to you if you buy a board and you're looking for a part. But also everything's pretty modular. We don't use anything super robust or patented or anything like that. So it's not really anything hard to find. I just want to say shout out Dallas. He was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
He was one of the first guys to ever review a board from us, and it was such a huge impact for what it did for our business. So first off, shout out Dallas. Thank you so much. And I mean, people like Dallas were the reason that we were kind of able to make it, because we never paid for marketing. We never paid for advertising. The most we did was put out our own content, and we paid a videographer for a little bit to help us make some videos. But other than that, we didn't pay to push them out or anything like that. So people like Dallas are the real reason why BKB kind of has a name nowadays. We're all community based, so we really appreciate people like him, or him specifically too.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard of you over here in the UK and worldwide, I'm sure. You have been a name in the scene for some time now. So what does the future hold for you, Quinten?
Personally,
Yeah, I guess.
um, well, I think we kind of talked about this before I was on the air. I'm very excited, and of course, this is a time full of bittersweet endings. I'm very excited to be a rider again. Um, and this isn't anything career wise, but I think anybody who kind of has done something in this field can kind of understand, when you're working on something all day, it kind of makes it really difficult to enjoy that thing after work is over. Just to kind of, especially make the time out of your day to go and do something that you just spent hours kind of working on. So it didn't take the joy out of it for me, but it took the time and the drive to want to ride anymore. And I kind of felt it honestly creeping back up in the past couple months, which is kind of what kind of led me to not make the decision, but just start to be more honest on Instagram and stuff like that. Um, so I've been going through a personal transformation as well, outside of BKB, where I've just been trying to like focus my own life, and make sure I'm focusing on what can make myself the most happy in the future, and right now. And part of that was, um, I didn't like being on my phone as much. I want to go out and connect with people. I want to go ride my board and not look at something on a screen. I want to connect with nature. I want to connect with people, like real people, and have a real conversation. So I started deleting Instagram or TikTok. I deleted it for a little bit, and I downloaded it because I needed to post something for BKB or something like that. Um, and I was just kind of like, man, I realized what I enjoyed about BKB so much. It wasn't being a business owner. It wasn't anything to do with the business. It was connecting with people and making people excited, like exciting people about their own project. Um, and so I'm trying to figure out how I can continue to do that in whatever next adventure that I go into. I have a lot of other passions outside of ESk8. We were kind of talking before. I'm a pilot now. I got my pilot's license this past year, which was a huge accomplishment for myself personally. So I might look into that a little bit more. But I just want to figure out how I can keep connecting with people and helping people. That's my biggest thing. I don't know. I don't 100% know what that is yet, but we'll get there. What advice would you give to a new ESk8 brand owner? That's a tough question. I think I can't give any advice on how to do well in the market, because if I had that advice, I'd take it myself. And I can't say I know 100% what's going on everywhere, but I just know what happened from my perspective. My biggest advice would be build something that you're proud of, first off, and no matter if one person buys it or if 10 people buy it, you'll be proud and you'll be happy and you'll be fulfilled. That's something I really had a big reflecting point when I decided to kind of post that we were not going to be continuing production. Was I was almost ashamed and like sad. I felt like I was doing everybody wrong by making this decision. It felt really bad, but I started thinking about it and I was like, I fully believe in everything that I've sold. I've never sold anything that I don't know, in my head about, or not confident in, or not personally excited about. So it's easy to get in your head and question things, and especially as a business owner, when you have so many people asking you for things or questions or whatever. It's always good to have a place where you can turn to yourself and be like, I'm happy with myself. I'm doing the right thing. And I think morality is the biggest thing. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Make sure you're not just pumping people full of whatever makes money or whatever you're looking to do. That's the biggest thing. Do it for the love of the game, not for the love of the business ownership. That's my biggest thing. Keep ESk8 the most important thing. If there's a second chance to do BKB again, what would you do different?
These some killer questions from Suki coming in.
Yeah, Suki's really hitting me hard with them. I don't really know if I would do anything. I don't know what I would do differently, because I'm not one who believes in regrets. I believe in tuition. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't look back and be like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. If I didn't make the right decision in a situation, I paid the price of whatever the repercussions are, and that was my price to learn how to fix myself in the future or do better in the future. So my dad taught me that at an early age. When I would make a mistake or something, or he'd be like, if there's a punishment to go along with that, that's how much you're paying to learn what to do next time. And
it's a learning opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah. So I can't say, and I don't really have any big regrets. Like, there's nothing that pops into my head at first that's like, oh, you could have done that better, or you could have been nicer to this person. No, I really, I'm proud. I honestly am proud. I can't say I did everything perfectly. I'm definitely not perfect. But I don't look at anything with regret or anything like that, which is a good feeling.
That's good. It's a tough market to keep in and to do it for so long. Obviously, doing a lot of things right, for a long time. And who knows where things are going to go next?
Yeah, I would totally be interested in getting back into ESk8. I just want to say that right now. If there's a place in the market for us, I would immediately come back. I just don't feel like it makes sense to do a whole different run of boards where the boards aren't selling as much as I'd like them to in the first place. It just seems like not the right time to invest back into it. But I feel like there might be another resurgence. I don't think it'll be for another couple of years, but I could totally see it coming back. This is BKB's most popular product ever sold over the years. I'll be honest, I'll probably say our tires. The tires did really, really well, and we produced.
Was it the little 6-inch street tires?
Yeah, I got them right here.
Square profile.
Yep, got them right here, with the flat profile on them. So these are something that was kind of like a passion project for us, and exactly like how we design our boards. We looked at the market and we were looking what other people were putting out,
Mhm.
and we were like, we just kind of looked at it from a new perspective. We kind of just we want to be like, what are we looking at, and why does it not make sense in our head? Because we looked at it, something didn't add up, and the main thing was, okay, a scooter and a motorcycle, they both have two wheels, they both have rounded tires, but an electric skateboard is the one of the only vehicles I've ever seen with four wheels and rounded tires,
Yeah, yeah.
as far as the
The
profile is
lean,
concerned.
lean and
Um,
steer, isn't it?
yeah, but with how skate trucks are really pivoting it nowadays with RKP and all these different kinds of base plate angles you could put in, you don't need that. And if you really want to maximize traction, maximize grip, you need a lot of contact patch. So this is literally inspired off of a car tire. We looked and we said, what would work here and what would work in real life? We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We were literally just trying to say, like, okay, well, what wheel works in this application? Um,
Yeah.
and if you look at high performance cars, none of them have rounded tires. Um, so kind of the same weight distribution, kind of the same platform, for lack of a better term. It kind of made sense. And then with testing, it was amazing. A lot of people loved them for racing. We sold them with the kits a lot,
Yeah.
but that was definitely the most popular, I'd say.
So are going to be still available for people in the skate scene?
Are there going to be some of
Tires?
these available?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I still have a couple for sale right now. I think I have just about maybe 200 to 150 remaining um,
Mhm.
individuals. I will say this, and I have no problem saying this. First time it'll be public knowledge, though. Um, there has been a couple other companies reaching out to me. Just so you know, Suki, I did sell out of the hubs themselves. So the rims themselves, I'm completely sold out of. But the spare tires and tubes, I have plenty of those. So if you already have hubs, you already have 6-inch tires or wheels, great for replacement. Um, but I have had a couple other companies reach out to me as far as looking to buy molds and stuff like that to continue producing the products.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not really super sure if I'm going to go that direction. Really, I don't have anything pushing me in that direction right now, other than maybe sell it for some money. But it's not anything that's like, I'll be honest with you, like these things are so expensive to make. You have no clue. It costs about $15,000 to get yourself set up just to produce them, and then you have to pay per tire after production.
Mhm.
So it's a really heavy upfront cost, which is kind of like you see. We're able to lower the cost over time because we've produced so many. It kind of brings down the cost over time with paying off the mold fees and stuff like that. But a lot of the people that are interested in buying these molds, we have one in the U.S. and then the rest are in China. Unfortunately, China has this manufacturing infrastructure that allows them to kind of get things cheaper than some of the American brands can. So it doesn't really make sense for us to sell them. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the right thing for me. I mean, we have a patent on it with the treadwear and it's a proprietary tire compound. So I don't think it's anything anybody can reproduce 100%. But fortunately, there's no intellectual property law or they're not really enforcing it overseas or anything like that. So it's kind of like a weird situation, to be honest with you. I don't really know how to go about it. I'm new to this. Like, I like being an open book. It's kind of refreshing to tell everybody that you're stopping production because I can just be honest. And I know what I'm doing as far as the business is concerned, but as far as moving on, I don't know what the right thing is to do right now. Maybe you guys
Mm.
can give me some feedback because, like I said, it's all about you guys and the community.
It
Um,
sounds like if that's your best selling sort of product, that might be something that's worth continuing to make and sell. That's what people want to keep on buying, just for tires, possibly.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if maybe there's some options to continue with potential drop shipping. Um,
Ah, here we are. Yeah.
and I just say that in the sense of if I can speak with, or if I can convince my manufacturers to allow me to operate a small, just pallet, like a working pallet.
Mhm.
That as long as the pallet has tires on it, I'm good. And then if someone buys them, I can ship them directly from there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't want to leave anybody high and dry. That's the
Will
last
it?
thing I want to do.
Yeah. Will it be like a hands off for you?
Yeah, and
And people can buy in tires they want.
at that point, I would just push whatever, cost of the
Mm.
tire to the consumer, and that would be it. I mean, I'm not doing anything. Why should I make money? But you know,
Well, you've put
um,
some effort in to get that tire to where it is, and it's something that people like. Who
maybe I'm just a
knows?
terrible business person, but like, it feels really wrong to do that. Like, I get it. Like, it's like when you go to pick up food at a restaurant.
$1 a tire, just $1 a tire.
Okay,
Who
that
knows?
maybe you're making me
Yeah,
consider it, but
yeah.
um, but like it kind of just reminds me of, let's say you order food for pickup from a restaurant or something like that. You call it in and you're like, hey, I'll be there in 20 minutes. Can I get a burger and some fries, whatever? And you show up and you got to pay, and they flip the little thing around and ask you to tip 20, 25, or 30%. You didn't do anything. I just talked to you on the
Mm.
phone. I mean, I'm still going to tip you because I'm a nice guy. But I
Yeah,
don't know. I feel the
it'd
same way.
be.
I'm like asking for a tip and I'm not doing anything. So I don't know.
No,
Um,
you did something though. I think you come up with something that people like, and they probably want to continue to ride basically and enjoy the feel and its characteristics that have made
yeah,
it so popular.
yeah. I think you might be right. I definitely want to look into continuing production. It's just
Hmm. Just
the the tires alone won't maintain the business.
oh
Um,
no, no.
so I kind of have to. It's a little bit of a tough call, but hey, this is the fun part about it. It's not fun decisions, but it's fun to be able to talk with someone like you and get these great ideas. Because honestly, it's I make the rules as far as what happens, and I just want to make sure I'm doing right by everybody else. So when I get everybody else's opinion, it really helps me.
Sure. I was really interested in your battery, the rail system. I
Yeah,
always thought it was amazing.
thank you.
The whole concept there, and So, so it's been some good innovations over the years.
Yeah, I mean, the battery system was our biggest innovation, I'd say.
Mm.
Between like Duo 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, we went through a lot of different generations and iterations. The biggest change we ever made was going to rail core.
Mm.
And some people were wary about it. Some people really love the concept. Um, for me, it's my most proud moment, um, is creating something from scratch that nobody else told me about. Like, yeah, I had market research. Yeah, I talked to a lot of customers about the concept without kind of giving it away. But it was kind of a Hail Mary or whatever you want to call it for a product. And not in a way of like, oh, we need to be saved. More of like let's go for it. Let's make something completely
Mm.
different. Let's try to change the scene.
Yeah,
Um, and how many people can say that they've tried to make something completely new? Uh,
exactly.
that's what really makes me proud. You can reinvent an electric skateboard and put the battery here, change it over here, all you want. It's still just a battery and an enclosure. Um, so I tried to really shake it up with that. I still think, like, maybe it's delusion, maybe it's just I am with it every day, so I see what it can do. I think it has so much potential. Um, I don't know why other brands haven't started doing modular battery packs.
Yeah,
I was so inspired by the idea that I started making it work on other things. I have a lawnmower that I can run on the same battery. I have
yeah.
two bicycles, one pedal assist, one throttle. I have two dirt bikes that are on the same battery.
Yeah.
I have so many different things running on the same system.
The
Um,
battery is such a high proportion of the cost, isn't it, of the electric vehicle?
right.
If you can reuse that battery and scale it up or down depending on requirements, so it's got to be the way to go.
That's exactly what I thought of when I created the product. And I think you'll appreciate this because it kind of tied back to what I was saying earlier with like, oh, everybody was into electric skateboarding, everybody was getting into it. And then there was a kind of a point in maybe 2020, 2021, COVID time, when electric skateboard became really popular to get out of the house, but
Yeah.
some people couldn't do it. And then everybody started going into all these other PEV scenes. And I started looking at these scenes and I'm like, okay, well, first off, electric skateboarding is an expensive hobby. I know that. Everybody else knows that. It's not easy. How can I lower the cost of entry for everybody else and allow them like to create and build whatever they want? And that's to make the batteries modular. I mean, it's exactly the point you made. And that's kind of the first thought to kind of get us towards making a modular battery system, was to
Got a
hopefully
question.
make it easy.
Got a question here from someone.
Yeah, John Davey, how's it going, John? Good to hear from you.
He's
Good
asking
friend.
about the electronics. Are they still available for Railcore?
Yeah, yeah, we've got all the electronics for Railcore still available. We are pretty low on ESCs, so just to be completely transparent with everybody, I I've sold the kits in so many different ways: the Duo, the Tato, the Campus, which was a single motor version, and then I've also done the powertrain kit, which doesn't include wheels or deck or anything like that. You can throw it on anything and it works. With that, it kind of made some limiting factors where I have 20 Duo decks and I have 40 Tato decks, but I only have 15 ESCs remaining.
Sure.
Because I mean, the kit themselves, the powertrain kit was our biggest thing because people just wanted to electrify anything they wanted. Some people, I saw someone put it on a door, like a literal door off of a hinge, and they powered a door. It was cool, but I was like, I don't get it, but like, it's really cool. So we sold a lot of those. So we have a lot of like spare parts. I got a lot of decks, but as far as computer systems are concerned, like ESCs, about 15 remaining. So
Okay.
once those 15 ESCs are gone, um, I will not be selling any full kits anymore.
I'm
But
pretty sure John's interested in the Railcore side of it. I was teasing earlier. I know John quite well. Here we go. I ordered the battery enclosures, but didn't get the BMS.
yeah, so I can actually show you why, John, if you want to see.
Ooh, hot off the press.
Yeah, hot off the press. Let me give you guys a little exclusive. I'm just gonna walk back here. This is my whole fulfillment area right here. Um, and right here, I have a 12S 1P battery
Ooh.
right here. So this 12S 1P, it's got 18650 cells in it. It's just under that 99 or that 100 watt-hour limit, so you can fly on planes with
Oh,
it. Gonna stop
magic.
selling you on it, and I'm just gonna start showing you. This is the BMS for the battery system, right? So it's
Okay.
built into the bottom. This is one built. So you
Yeah.
can see that battery system. Sorry, I'm not doing a great job. I'm kind of going backwards.
Yeah, it's
This
added on
battery
there. Yeah.
system is the entire rail on the bottom. But this is how I have the batteries manufactured. It's a smart BMS system. So I can't remove this. When I sell you a package like this, when I sell you an empty enclosure, it's simply meant to give you a place where you can run cables out of or a connector to, and then you can just have that quick mounting
Release.
platform. So you can use it
Yeah.
for whatever you want. Unfortunately, I do not have BMSs disconnected. Um, we do ship to
Oh,
the UK, 100%. I actually, proud to say, we've shipped all over to every single continent except for Antarctica. Um,
okay.
we're all over
Yeah,
the place.
it's a pretty difficult place to skate, I guess, Antarctic.
Great for drifting, but not great for high speed runs, I've heard. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so as far as but what I was saying about ESCs being a limitation, it's really not, because with the modularity of the system, any ESC for the most part can fit into that enclosure. And when you order an empty ESC enclosure, it comes with the rail and the BMS, not the BMS, but the rail to connect to the BMS. So it's an easy swap. I'm actually making a a MakerX DV4S VESC capable module for someone to throw on a rail core right now. Um, yeah,
Cool.
it's
So you're trying to do your best by people, keep things going, and that.
that's it. I mean, take care of the people who have taken care of me. That's all it is. I got into this to share my passion,
Yeah.
um, and it was amazing. I mean, the people are what made it fun for me.
Sounds like you're going to be very active in the scene, enjoying riding and still helping people out. And
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
who
I
knows?
mean, I was walking the dog the other day in the woods near my house, and randomly three Vesk one wheelers come running up on me. Um,
Ah,
and I go, "Hey, are those Vesk?" And they were like, "Yeah, how'd you know? How do you know what that is?" Because I'm not on a board or anything. And I go, "Oh, I'm Q from BKB." They're like, "Oh, Q, I've been trying to get one of your remotes." And it's funny. I run into people all the time, and it's just I'm in the wrong places. But I want to answer Suki's
mm,
question. I thought that was a great question. Teaching moment. Um, I don't know if this is a teaching moment, but it's my favorite moment. Um, and I think there is a teaching part in it. A couple months ago, I got reached out to by two different groups of people. One was a woman who ran a organization called Girl Power out of California, and the other was a group of college engineering students from the University of Oregon. And the woman from California reached out to me asking if she could get a special deal on certain parts because she wanted to host a class teaching women and girls how to build their own skateboard and how to ride a skateboard. And the whole purpose of the class was to just empower women to kind of get into things that are a little bit more intimidating for them to try initially. Um, and I donated some parts, or I think I gave them a special deal on something, and um, I heard it made a huge impact on a lot of people. So just little things like that, and I had nothing to do with it. It was just something that I kind of just was a little part of. But then I heard it made an impact on so many people, and it really made me proud. But the biggest thing was the Oregon students. They reached out to me to ask if I could help them with a custom build almost, and it was because a kid who um, was disabled pretty much across his body down. His dream was to ride a skateboard. Like he grew up playing Tony Hawk games, or he just loved skateboarding. He wanted to ride a skateboard, and that was his ultimate goal, his wish. Um, and they were talking to me as far as like how would that be possible with his condition? How are they going to hold him up? What's he going to be like standing on? How is he going to control it? And we ended up making a custom kit for him, pretty much. Um, and he was able to ride a skateboard for the first time ever in his life, and like to watch the video and the pictures from that. I was obviously in New York, across the country from them, but to watch the videos from that, I honestly cried. Like it was such an impactful moment for myself, and it put a lot of things into perspective of like just things you take advantage every day. um, so teaching moment for me was just, I'd say, perspective is like, yeah, I could have a bad day at work, but I'm working with electric skateboards or talking to people that love the same things as I do. Like how bad is my bad day at work? So I think just perspective and since that moment, I really have found myself just like every single day just feeling so grateful to be a part of BKB, to be a part of everybody's lives, um, and just kind of like in like a nice reflective way, that really connected with me hard. And I think about it all the time. I didn't post about it or anything, um, just because, like I was saying, I don't really use social media a lot, and I feel like a lot of people post on social media, and I'd rather just do the work and feel the love and move on instead of trying to maximize everything and get all the clicks and all the things and all of that. Like that does not mean anything to me. I don't want my name even included. I sign my name on everything because I want people to know I'm here for them. But I don't care about any fame, any fortune, anything like that. I just want to connect and help people. So it kind of feels weird posting things like that. That's why probably nobody's ever heard of it. Um, but that was my most teaching moment for sure.
yeah, to make that wish come true is an amazing, amazing moment.
Yeah, it was like I said, I cried. After
Yeah.
like I didn't even think much of it when I was doing it, and then almost like seeing the aftermath of it and like the impact of it, I was like, I was just
Mm.
overcome with emotion over it. Um, Memorable moment.
It's sounding like a memorable moment as well.
I mean that's definitely one of them. I have a
Mm.
funny moment. I'll give you a funny moment.
Okay.
And I actually have a prop for it. I'm just gonna grab it. Uh, so this was when this is a funny moment, and it comes from prototyping. So memorable moment. We were
Okay.
prototyping Railcore, right? And Railcore is super, super strong. We made it with the hardest ABS plastic you could possibly make. But obviously, before you make an ABS plastic part, which is made by a mold, you need to test the structural integrity through other testing. First is like 3D printing, and then you go into stronger 3D printing formats or PLAs, or PLA is like the first one, and so on and so forth. So we were on like a second iteration of prototyping, and we had an ESk8 not ESk8 sorry, Electrify Expo, which is a traveling expo here that just shows off anything electric. And they used to have like a little skateboard area. I don't think they have it anymore, but our booth was flooded with people. We were doing so well.
Oh yeah.
Everybody wanted to test ride a board. Everybody was so interested. Oh, you guys are local.
Brilliant.
It was in our state, 10 minutes away from our warehouse. So everybody was like, "Oh, you're the only company here that's from our area. How cool!" So much attention. Unfortunately, it kind of turned into, okay, everybody go ride this thing because there's a big line. So people who weren't even interested were trying to ride our boards. And it got to a point where I had 6 boards operating, doing demo rides at a time, and only 3 people working. It was overwhelming as hell.
Oh wow.
And I had this demo board on the thing. It's a omakase, or a loaded deck, I believe. I don't know which one it is. Um, but I had this on the table, and it was a Railcore prototype. So these are 3D printed rails from the beginning. And as you can see, some of them are broken. And that's because someone decided to take the board off the table, put it on the demo line in prototype form, and allow someone to ride it. And that person had never ridden a skateboard before, let alone that person's never driven a car. I'm not coming after the person or anything like that, but it was just one of those things where like they didn't have any intuition as far as riding or throttle, or no experience. And the whole day was showing off this beautiful board. This board used to be like pristine and really, really cool. Um, and as she goes on it, it's like a kind of a oval track, and she turns around the oval, and she kind of stumbles off, and I go over to help her. And as I go over to help her, she goes, "It's not working." I said, "I'm sorry, what's not working?" And she goes, the throttle." And I said, "She's pulling it backwards." And I was like, "Oh, that's the brake, that's why." And she was like,
Oh
"Oh."
no, she does it the other direction, doesn't she?
And she full throttles it, and I go, "Okay, okay, it works." Doesn't let go, and sends the board completely about 45 miles an hour into a curb, and everything shatters. And this is in front of a line of probably 60 to 70 people that are waiting to get on these products and interested in buying these boards. And I can't be like, "Oh, no, 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 it was a prototype. It was 3D printed. It was this, it was that. It shouldn't have been on the block." Like, it was just a disaster. And it was the
It
most,
just burst into smithereens, was it just?
just literally like you ever seen like a Lego movie or something like that, where things just break
Yeah.
apart and it's like a million yeah, like the enclosure broke out, the batteries hanging out, like it looked like terrible, like it got hit by
Oh
a
man.
truck. And
Wow.
everybody's just kind of like, "Ooh," like an audible "ooh" comes over the crowd.
What
And
line
I was just
things
kind of there
out.
like, "It's okay, like don't worry about it," like telling her like, "It's fine, don't worry, I'll rebuild it, it's fine." And then this woman gets mad at me, and she's like, "Well, why did your board break?" And I was like, "Probably because you full throttled into a metal curb, or a big concrete curb at 45 miles an hour." And she was like, "Well, how is that my fault?" And I said, "You had the remote in your hand." And I wasn't like trying to get her in trouble. I was just like, "Are you okay?" Like, all I cared about was her. Um, but she got really, really upset with me over the situation. Um, and yeah, I was just kind of like, I'm sorry, I don't." She was trying to force me to let her back on another board. And it was a whole thing. And I was just like, "I'm sorry, like I don't have time. Like you got to go back to the line if you want to ride again, but I'll happily if you get back up here." And she didn't, but that was definitely a memorable moment, because it was like debuting a brand new product. Everybody's like, "Whoa, what is this?" And then it just fails in front of everybody.
Some
Um,
real highs and lows there. It was all happening,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah, that was an interesting day. Highest value battery you have. Without considering like custom batteries, like I have a 12S10P right now. That's just meant for like a long range build. Um, It would be our 12S 2P because we only sell two batteries. We only sell 12S 2P and 12S 1P,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
the 2P and the 1Ps can be connected within themselves. So to create a bigger battery, so the 2Ps can create a 12S 6P. But the 2Ps, they're on sale right now, and pretty sure you can get one for less than 260. And that'll get you at least 20 miles of range. So yeah, that's probably our most expensive battery. But like I said, I try to keep everything cheap and affordable. Like if you need 20 miles, you need 40 miles. There you go, 250. I was close. I think I might have been talking about what the charger looked like, but we try to keep everything as close to what we get charged as possible. Um, so yeah, nothing crazy expensive on our site. And if you want to make a bigger battery, buy two of them, put them together. If you want to make a smaller one, just buy one. If you want to go on the plane, get a 12S 1P. Lots of options.
Yeah, giving people the options.
Correct. Yeah, in series. Oh no, I'm sorry, in parallel.
Yeah, so yeah. So working on a 12S voltage generally then your system.
Yeah, they're 50.4 volts, pretty standard. The 12S 2Ps have 21700, so they have a pretty high capacity. Um,
Okay.
and honestly, I actually, when I built the board, I did a lot of calculations on ESk8 calculators and different voltage and electrical calculators. And the range I was getting estimated was 18 to 21 miles on a 12S 2P, 97 millimeter wheels, 60 to 54 motors, nothing crazy. And then I did real world testing, and that was like the bare minimum. Um, I ride my boards on medium to high setting all the time, and I typically don't typically use it to run errands, stuff like that. So I'm not riding for more than 10 to 15 miles at a time. But even with those big rides, I've gotten up to close to 40 miles on one 12S 2P battery, just like putting around town or anything crazy. But I just want to make it clear. If I say the battery will do 20 miles, it will do 20 miles pretty much as a base. It'll do more than that, but it's one of my biggest pet peeves. I bought a board that said it'll do 20 miles and it only did 12. My first board, and I hated it. No, 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 not in series.
12S, wasn't
In
it?
parallel. Yeah, so it'll go
12S
from 12S
2P.
2P to 12S 4P to 12S 6P. Um,
Mhm.
and we have it limited to three right now. There's no reason why you couldn't do four, but we just have it limited as far as like a safety feature, and also you can only fit three on a board, so that's kind of what we were
Yeah,
thinking. I do have a couple custom boards
practicality.
where I actually run chains like a XT90 with cables in between, so I can have like a flexible deck or things mounted
Hmm.
for weight distribution. But typically, I think fitting them together makes the most sense. So we didn't see the need to go more than three. It'll get you more than enough range too. Three batteries should get you at least like 80. Uh, but at this point, I'm in no rush. What board am I riding now? I can show you. It's a custom build that I built. Um, I'm honestly not a huge fan of it, to be
Well,
completely
why?
honest with you guys.
Yeah.
Because so I was working on this little project um, during like right before COVID hit when e-skate racing was becoming massive, and I wanted to work on like better trucks, um, not like race trucks like Stooge does or anything like that, but just something custom and cool looking and kind of more meaty and robust. So I had these CNC. I'll flip the camera real quick. I don't know. Can I flip the camera on this?
Should be able to.
Oh yeah, I can. Perfect. Here we go. Let me just lean against this wall here. So I had these trucks CNC'd, and they're at a crazy angle. It's almost at like I think it's a 76-degree angle downward instead of a traditional like 45 to 46. It's a drop through mounting.
Mm.
Um, I set it up just for like quick going fast type of thing. So I have a small battery up here. It gets daisy chained down here to our ESC on dual
We
6384s.
can't actually see what you're pointing at now. Just so you know.
You cannot see me.
No, we can't. It's black.
Can you see
Now
me
we
now?
can. Now we can.
Sorry about that, guys. My bad.
No problem.
So here's the truck mounts, just crazy high. Just
About the way.
just kind of wild looking, but it's I honestly just we had them kind of custom built just to try them out, and it's an interesting feeling. I mean the truck position on the front. I mean, look at the angle of that
Ooh.
kingpin. It's very interesting to ride. You have to carve so much, but it's so stable, and it's almost backwards feeling. Like if I'm putting full weight on my heel, it's not turning. So you kind of have to rotate into. It's very interesting. So I'm just trying new things, and I'm always experimenting with things. I love doing the.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip my camera back right now you lose me.
Cool. Yeah, it was nice to see that. Those motor mounts were nice and high. Out the bother.
Yeah, and it's got like a big flexible deck on it. It's all bamboo, so it flexes a bunch, and I like riding weird things. I like building the things more than I like riding them. To be honest with you, I don't ride fast
Okay.
or anything like that, but building them is the fun part, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've got some friends who seem to like tinkering as much as riding.
Yeah,
Um,
especially when you get a
you're.
little older and things
Mhm.
start to hurt a little bit more.
Mm.
Um, when I first started skating, I couldn't imagine being hurt from a skateboard. I was like, what the hell? I'll scrape myself and that's about it. But man, do you get humbled once those 24, 25 years old starts coming around. It's like, oh, maybe I am a little bit more fragile.
uh, try doubling that, my friend.
I,
I, I was doing a double somersault last Halloween with my like 50-pound board strapped to my feet,
oh my
and
gosh. Oh
yeah,
my
that
gosh.
was a whole lot of fun. Two somersaults,
Yeah,
but
I think I'm like at a point now where like I'm okay doing something that's risky or getting myself hurt because obviously we're all adrenaline junkies here.
mm-hmm. Oh,
But
John's saying they like to sit down these days. He can't stand up and ride now
yeah,
on the trike.
dude, that's why I started building a drift trike, and that's why I
Bit
built.
of fun.
Get into track riding, not too fast, it's not your thing, but still track riding, wildly funny without racing. Yeah, I have. I actually so I don't even know if people know this about me. Um, I'm a huge car guy. I mean, I race cars all the time, legally, not on the street. I'm not a dummy that's cutting up through traffic or any doing takeover side shows or anything like that. But I love cars and racing and motorsports. Um, so I do a lot of competing and racing outside of electric skateboards. Um, and I build cars for fun. I buy and sell cars for fun. It's like my own little personal passion project. So I'm always doing things like that as far as racing. As far as racing on a board is concerned, I don't know. It's kind of like in my head, I kind of look at it as like I love riding on the boards on trails. Like my favorite thing is off-road riding. That's what I really,
Yeah.
really love.
Ah,
Um,
preach. Yeah, that's the
so
place
like
to be.
I could ride on so you get it. You could ride on pavement all day. It's gonna feel the same. But when you have to go over little what are the roots of a tree that you're passing or big holes in the ground, you got to dodge these things. Watch out for slippery slopes and stuff. Like it's a completely different animal.
Yeah.
So that's just personally what I enjoy. Racing doesn't really. I don't think it scratches an itch for me because maybe it's just because I'm old and I'm boring, but it makes me think like, first off, it's not something that I'm personally interested in. It's just not my speed. Um, but also, it's such a risk for myself to get hurt that I wouldn't be able to do all the other things I love to do. Um, and keep in mind, I'm not a boring guy. I've been skydiving, bungee jumping multiple times, but I'm all about calculated risk. And I know, especially with becoming a pilot, um, even if I break a ankle, I can't fly a plane. So it kind of holds up a lot of different things that could be happening. So kind of pick and choose. But literally this morning, I'm friends with one of the management over at a go-kart track near me, and I was over there racing this morning. I've tried to set up electric race leagues in New York so many times because I want to support the art of racing, not just, I don't personally want to race, but I want to support racing because I totally get it. Um, it's just so tough to get a place where it's legit, without it being a parking lot with cones, and nothing against that. But I wanted more than that. I wanted to go to a go-kart track. I wanted to go to a place that's designated. I wanted this, I wanted that. I just couldn't kind of get it to a point where I would be happy with it myself, so I didn't really do anything with it. But we do have some good groups, like if you know Jeffrey Peralta in New York, he puts on some good races and practices and stuff like that.
Is it a Broadway bash I saw recently? I saw some videos.
Yeah. Broadway Bomb is a
Bomb.
big ride. I didn't go this year just because I was out of town, but huge event. I went last year and actually pretty much got hit by a car.
Sure.
So
we're glad you didn't.
thank you.
Tommy Flynn's wanted to sit down as well, feed him a trike.
Yeah.
Honestly, trike is the new thing in the UK. All my friends are using the skate parts as the drivetrains on trikes. It's really popular.
So these trikes, what do you like? What are the wheel sizes on them? What do you mean? Like a drift trike, or is it like a bicycle trike?
So on the back, generally 8 or 9-inch pneumatic tires with just the ESk8 drivetrain on the rear,
I think I
and
have something I can make work for that.
like a BMX size wheel on the front.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought so. I collect toys and rideables and stuff like that over the years. Maybe afterwards I can pull it out. I gotta find it, but I have
I think
something that's literally a trike that I could probably build.
they're good fun. You can sit down and spin around, and the appeal is just using the parts that we've all got bits hanging around, haven't we? We've built boards and motors and gear drives, and
That's awesome.
yeah. So yeah, it's good fun. I think this hobby keeps on evolving. I'm still looking forward to the hoverboard. We can keep on waiting, you know.
You talking about like Back to the Future?
Possibly. These ones with drones are looking more likely to roll out.
Yeah. So the EV tolls are very interesting. And I think that's the future, personally. I think it's going to be a big barrier of entry. I don't think it's going to be like ESk8 where you can kind of get into it for $500 and, keep up. It's going to be a big barrier of entry to get into it, but I think it's going to be huge. I had the privilege of seeing one fly around this past summer. It was called a Pivotal.
Okay.
And man, I mean, it's nothing crazy as far as what it can do yet, but the fact that you can go into one of those without a license and fly for 45 minutes and go somewhere and land just like in a parking spot in the same size space, that's nuts.
Yeah, that
It's
is mad, isn't it?
it's crazy to think about. I mean, everything else is like, okay, how do we make electric unicycles better? How do we make electric skateboards better? Well, here's how you do it. You put them in the air. I mean, what the hell? It's like now you can go up and down. What the That's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
you got a whole nother dimension to work on, haven't you?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yo, yeah. Oh, Tommy Flint wants a picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to see a picture of that eventually.
Yeah. Based on the tramper trike, John was saying. Yeah, they've been innovating again recently, making this whole new sport, really, electric drift trike.
Yeah, there's the Pivotal that I've seen.
Oh wow, yes.
Yeah, there's
cool.
some crazy stuff, and now they're doing some EV races over in some countries, and it's kind of crazy the things that these things can do. I mean, they don't run for long or anything like that. As you guys know, electric it can only do so much power for so long with so much weight. But it's super cool.
And quite maneuverable. They're quite.
From what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well, who knows where the future holds, isn't it? You know, kids being born now. Who knows 50 years from now what they'll be riding?
Yeah, I can't even fathom the fact that when I was in high school, which I feel like was 2 days ago, electric skateboards were the coolest, newest thing. And it's kind of crazy to say that I've had a business from when it was peak to
Mm-hmm.
when it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's not peak now or it's not a big thing or a
But
good thing now, but
I gotta just stop you there. Sorry, we got AD Dawn in the comments here, and he's a new father again. He's actually just had a little girl, a daughter. So as
oh,
we were just saying, that,
congratulations.
yeah, 50 years. What knows what she'll be riding? I can't
Yeah,
even imagine.
holy moly. Well,
Congratulations, AD.
yeah, big congratulations, 80. Wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing. Hopefully, I'll join that club one day soon.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, life goes on. We keep on enjoying this hobby and the passion and the love. It's,
that's the
it's
goal. I mean, I think I've made it abundantly clear that the only thing that matters to me about this business is the people. Um, and obviously, I'm not talking about anybody else other than the people who ride our boards and have supported us since day one, because it really was like just a passion project for us. It wasn't like a business where we were trying to make it and become these corporate guys or anything like that. Like, we never even wanted that. We just wanted to build something and have fun with everybody.
yeah. And if that's
Yeah.
what you've done, made some friends along the way, and are going to continue to do, then it's all been positive, isn't it?
Of course, yeah. And I don't plan on not going to any of these events. Like, I was at ESk8 this past year just as a spectator. I had nothing to gain from it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was still there because I wanted to be there. Um, so
So you planning to be there this year in 26?
yeah, I haven't looked into any of the information on it yet. I don't even know if anything's out yet. But
No, I haven't heard anything being out date-wise just yet.
yeah, I mean, I'd love an excuse to go to Vegas again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, Suki. Oh, here we go. We're back in the room where we just lost you briefly.
Sorry, I think I got a call or something. Sorry about that.
It's no drama. Um, so yeah, hoping to get out to ESk8 at 26 myself possibly. So
Yeah.
quite like see you out there and say hi. Maybe have a beer or a soft
Yeah, let's
drink,
get a drink,
whatever your
please.
preference
I've got a
is.
good bartender down there who I
Okay.
usually stay near the Golden Nugget in like Old
Mhm.
Vegas area.
Mhm.
I got a bartender down there that's got all the cool. He's
Okay.
doing all that
Okay.
stuff and everything. So I've got a good one. So
Yeah.
I'll take you over there.
Uh,
We'll get a drink.
Cool. That'd be great. Thanks for coming on the show, and we'll obviously have you on you again and talk more.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks everyone in the comments. It's been great chatting with you all. Anything you want to leave us with, Quinten, before we say goodnight?
I just want to say how incredibly grateful I am, just to be on the show and for you guys to give me the platform. Thank you. It means a lot.
Cool.
Um, you know, I don't know if it's like an imposter syndrome thing. I'm not going to go on a big tangent here, I promise. I don't know if it's an imposter syndrome thing or what, but I never felt like BKB was a big name. I always felt like it was um, just me and Jared and a couple friends that were virtual friends online or people who rode with me. Um, it's always felt like that. So I don't know what it seemed like from the outside, but I just want you guys to know it's always felt like I was just doing stuff with my friends, and that was the best thing about it. I never felt like I was going to work. So that's the last thing I want to say.
Oh, that's ace. Glad to hear it. Thanks again, Jared. Lovely chatting to you.